In To Kill a Mockingbird, Atticus tells Scout, "You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk around in it." In Of Mice and Men, Candy tells George and Lenny, "When they can me here, I wished somebody'd shoot me, but they won't do nothing like that. I won't have no place to go, and I can't get no more jobs." In the memoir Night, the author states, "Stronger than cold or hunger, stronger than the shots and the desire to die, condemned and wandering, mere numbers, we were the only men on earth." The Associated Press recently reported the results of a study. The article reads, "Parents spend more than 9 hours a day with TVs, computers, and other screen devices, while also giving themselves high marks as role models for their children's media use," according to a survey released Tuesday. Among all those surveyed, nearly 1,800 parents in the United States, daily screen time averaged 9 hours and 22 minutes, with the bulk of that, 7 hours and 43 minutes, categorized as personal screen time, and the other roughly 90 minutes spent on work. The study also found they were enthusiastic about technology's role in their kids' lives, but wary of the risks it may hold, including loss of sleep and online oversharing. The article also states that the top concerns among all parents about potential adverse media effects included the fear that children may become technology addicts, 56% of parents, that their physical activity will be affected, 50%, and their face-to-face communication and sleep habits will be hurt, both 34%. When it comes to kids' online activities, parents worry about how much time is spent, 43%. After reading these excerpts from the article titled "The Parental Contradiction When It Comes to Screen Time" by the Associated Press, you should have some opinions about it. Some claims you may make based on these opinions could be: parents are not really role models when it comes to using electronics. It is unfair that parents feel they should control their children's screen time when they spend 9 hours a day looking at technological devices. Or, parents are delusional if they think they are good models to their children regarding technology use. We are going to use one of these claims, support it with evidence from the article, and explain why we used that evidence. In other words, we are going to respond with ACE. Now, to use ACE to formulate an argumentative response to this article, you should first start with a claim. The claim I'm going to use is: parents are not really role models when it comes to technology use. Now, it is important to either paraphrase or quote an example that supports your claim from the article. So I'm going to state, according to the article, the parental contradiction when it comes to screen time by the Associated Press. It is important to make sure you reference the source you are going to quote or paraphrase. So I have done just that here. Parents spend about 9 hours a day using electronics, but still believe they set a good example for their children. I think it's also important to note that they have concerns about how much time their children spend on screen. So, however, parents state that they are concerned with their kids spending too much time looking at screens. Now I'm going to explain how my paraphrased information here supports my claim. And again, my claim is my argument that parents are not really role models when it comes to technology use. To argue this, I will say this information proves that parents do not model the behavior that they wish their children to emulate. They do not address their concerns for their kids by looking at screens as much as they do. So ACE can be as simple as 3 sentences. In this case, I have turned it into 5. I am an English teacher, but it is a definite example of how you can formulate an argumentative response with a simple structure. So I'm going to delete my outline here and make it into one paragraph that looks very formal. So I would like to give it a title. I think I will title it Parental Contradictions Regarding Screen Time. All right, I'm going to read it as a whole and then we will be finished. Parents are not really role models when it comes to technology use. According to the article, The Parental Contradiction When It Comes to Screen Time by the Associated Press, parents spend about 9 hours a day using electronics, but still believe they set a good example for their children. However, parents state that they are concerned with their kids spending too much time looking at screens. This information proves that parents do not model the behavior that they wish their children to emulate. They do not address their concerns for their kids by looking at screens as much as they do.